Hello, Unbrick Me here with a look at the LEGO Technic 4x4 X-Treme Off-Roader set number 42099.
Living tall, this pitch black stallest. Feel flawless, my mind's darkest. My purpose is to get my target until I check off everybody on my list. But somehow this is like a circus. I'm gliding all of y'all done at my service. Please get ready for some disturbance, but this is what you get for your purchase.
I gotta say that after experiencing this set, this LEGO Technic model is much better than I expected. I enjoy taking this set outdoors and really experiencing its off-road capabilities. In its default configuration, the 4x4 X-Treme Off-Roader is geared for speed rather than torque. This makes the off-roader stall at even the most insignificant inclines. Now let's do the single pair gear swap modification. As you can see, the off-roader became instantly more powerful, and it's so much more to play with now as opposed to the previous configuration. I definitely think that the default configuration of this set should have been this, as opposed to having it be fast but weak. My favorite part about this 4x4 X-Treme Off-Roader is that the front pair of wheels is actually articulated over here, and it is because the set does include two large turntables, and the articulation motion is really what makes its off-road capabilities so awesome. I also appreciate the level of care put into the suspension. On top of the front pair of wheels being articulated, the 4x4 X-Treme Off-Roader has completely independent suspension on all four wheels, so that makes it really awesome for off-roading. One thing I don't like about the set is that it only uses stickers for the decoration of the panels themselves. Perhaps the $250 price tag would have been a little bit more justified had the pieces been printed. The ground clearance of this 4x4 off-roader is actually kind of low, so I have a very easy modification that you can do in just 1 minute. So all you need are these pieces, and then just follow this step-by-step guide. Feel free to pause the video at any time, so that way you can also modify your 4x4 off-roader to have higher ground clearance in the front. The main Control Plus interface is really well designed. You do get the horizontal slider on the left responsible for the steering, and you get a vertical slider on the right responsible for the throttle of the motors. As someone who used a lot of LEGO Power Functions remotes, with the main throttle stick being on the left and the steering stick always being on the right, I would appreciate it if you could flip these two sliders to have the throttle be on the left and the steering be on the right. I will definitely be using a custom controller I make in the Powered Up app because I like having the throttle on the left and the steering on the right. But one thing I really appreciate about the set is that it actually does have one-touch control. The first thing you do is you orient this orientation based on how the car actually is in real life, and all you do is just tap on the direction in which you want the car to go. I do wish that we got one-touch control in the newer LEGO Control Plus sets, like the Off-Road Buggy or the Volvo Articulated Hauler. After modifying the 4x4 X-Treme Off-Roader in terms of the gear ratios as well as the ground clearance that this off-roader has, I can say that it is now a much better set, and the main message I want to give you about the set is that the 4x4 X-Treme Off-Roader is a much better set than what most people think. At $250, it is 100% overpriced. I completely agree. However, if you're able to find a good deal on Bricklink for under $200 like I did, then this set becomes the perfect choice for you. In total, with the tax, shipping, and PayPal fees, I had to pay only $190 for this set. So essentially, I saved more than $60 by purchasing this set on Bricklink, as opposed to purchasing this set in an official LEGO store. This set, by the way, was completely sealed, 100% sealed. So that is an incredible deal. But what about the pros and the cons of the car? Well, for the pros, it's got this incredible articulation of the front pair of wheels over here. I do really enjoy its suspension. It's clearly designed for off-roading. And another pro I have about the set is that it looks much bigger than a set that has less than 1,000 pieces. So they did a really good job sort of conveying the actual size of a 4x4 crawler, and I really appreciate that. Another pro I have about the set is that it uses the new Control Plus system. At the time, I didn't really like it, but now that we got the custom controller update, I can confidently say that, especially for controlling sets like this outdoors, where it's super sunny and the range with infrared control would be limited, Bluetooth control is just absolutely awesome. And and it sort of gives you an extra level of playability with this set. But what about the cons of the car? Well, first of all, it is incredibly overpriced. At $250 retail, I would much rather get the 6x6 Volvo articulated hauler. Thus, it provides a much better value. It has a fully motorized speed transmission gearbox. It's a much better set. It's a much bigger set with a lot more pieces. So $250 for this set is clearly overpriced. And another big con I have about this car is that it is worse in many ways than the previous Power Functions off-roaders, specifically the special edition 4x4 crawler we got back in 2013. The previous Power Functions crawlers had double steering, so that way the front pair of wheels would be steering and the back pair of wheels together. This resulted in a really good turning radius, and specifically the 2013 special edition crawler had actual working headlights, and it had a motorized winch on the front. So I do wish that, since the main Control Plus hub does have an extra port that's not being used in any way, this set should have come with powered up headlights, and from the app you could press a button to toggle the headlights on or off. But overall, this 4x4 crawler actually turned out to be much better than I expected, and not to mention some of its new incredible pieces like the planetary wheel hubs, which have a gear ratio of 1 to about 5.5. If you would like to see my ranking for every single LEGO Technic Control Plus set, this one, the off-road buggy, as well as the 6x6 Volvo articulated hauler, and the rest, then click on the video right over here. This is your Unbreak Me here, and I'll see you in the next one.